Have you heard the latest drama unfolding between Rachel Zegler and Brett Cooper? It's not just another celebrity spat. This clash is igniting a cultural debate that's dividing fans and critics alike. Rachel's bold comments about reimagining the iconic Snow White are raising eyebrows, especially after she labeled the original prince a stalker. But what exactly did she say that triggered Brett Cooper to jump into the fray? Did Rachel really lose her role because of the backlash? And why does this showdown matter for the future of storytelling in Hollywood? Stick around as we dive into the explosive details behind this heated confrontation and what it reveals about the clash between modern values and classic tales. Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White has become a topic of heated discussion, especially after her recent clash with Brett Cooper. Her outspoken remarks about reimagining this beloved fairy tale have sparked significant controversy. Brett Cooper, known for her strong conservative views, has stepped in to criticize Zegler, accusing her of disrespecting the original version of Snow White. So what exactly did Rachel say that caused such an uproar? Did her comments really jeopardize her role in the film? And why has Brett Cooper taken such a strong stance in this debate? Stay tuned as we unpack all the details surrounding this dramatic confrontation and explore its implications for the future of storytelling in Hollywood. The anticipated live-action remake of Snow White has generated a significant amount of chatter online, largely due to two prominent personalities: Rachel Zegler, the actress taking on the role of Snow White, and Brett Cooper, a rising conservative commentator associated with the Daily Wire. While there may not be a physical confrontation, their differing perspectives have sparked intense discussions across social media platforms, creating a divide among fans and critics. What started as a simple disagreement about a film has transformed into a broader dialogue reflecting the cultural and political rifts prevalent in today's media environment. Rachel Zegler, recognized for her breakout performance in West Side Story, has been cast as Snow White in Disney's upcoming remake. This decision to cast Zegler, a Latina actress, in a role historically portrayed as having skin as white as snow, has garnered praise from many who celebrate the move toward greater diversity in Hollywood. However, it has also drawn criticism from those who feel it deviates too significantly from the original 1937 animated film. While some fans appreciate this fresh take on the classic character, others view it as excessively political, fueling a heated conversation around the direction of modern adaptations. Rachel Zegler has expressed her excitement about portraying Snow White, aiming to infuse the character with a contemporary perspective. In numerous interviews, she has highlighted that this new iteration of Snow White will focus on personal empowerment, shifting away from the traditional narrative of needing a prince to rescue her. This modernization has ignited passionate conversations surrounding feminism and representation in media. Supporters hail this change as a commendable embrace of progressive ideals, while critics voice apprehension regarding Hollywood's inclination to reimagine cherished classics in what they perceive as overly political ways. Conversely, Brett Cooper has emerged as a prominent conservative commentator, openly criticizing the direction of modern adaptations like Zegler's Snow White. As a contributor at the Daily Wire, she often speaks out against what she perceives as a rising progressive agenda within Hollywood. Cooper argues that Disney's focus on diversity and social justice can feel contrived, believing it detracts from the essence of traditional storytelling. Through her platform, she consistently challenges liberal perspectives in pop culture, taking particular aim at reimagined classics such as the new Snow White, fueling the ongoing debate about the future of beloved narratives. Brett Cooper has voiced strong criticism regarding the upcoming Snow White remake and Rachel Zegler's portrayal of the iconic character. She contends that the modifications to this beloved story exemplify a broader trend of woke storytelling in Hollywood. Cooper raises concerns that these contemporary adaptations often push identity politics and social justice themes in ways that could negatively impact younger viewers. She frequently argues that such revisions stray too far from the original narratives and traditional values, suggesting that they prioritize political agendas over the authentic essence of the stories being told. This perspective adds fuel to the ongoing debate about how classic tales should be reinterpreted for modern audiences. The friction between Brett Cooper and Rachel Zegler escalated following remarks Zegler made while promoting the film. In various interviews, Zegler emphasized that this new iteration of Snow White would shift the focus from waiting for a prince to highlighting the character's personal strength and independence. In one particularly notable interview, she remarked on the original 1937 film, pointing out that it centered around Snow White's love story. Zegler called attention to the fact that it portrayed a relationship with a guy who literally stalks her, which she described as weird. She affirmed that this remake aims to move away from such themes, making it clear that they wanted to take a different approach this time. This statement fueled further debate and criticism, particularly from those who feel strongly about preserving the classic narratives. Rachel Zegler elaborated on the vision for the Snow White remake, emphasizing that the film would center around Snow White's evolution into a leader, rather than perpetuating the age-old tale of a princess waiting for her prince. Many supporters hailed Zegler's perspective as a refreshing and progressive take that resonates with contemporary cultural values. However, her comments also ignited a wave of backlash from fans of the original film. Critics of Zegler's stance argued that her characterization of the prince as a stalker was not only overly harsh but also unjust to a narrative cherished for decades. This divide illustrates the challenge of modernizing classic tales while respecting their historical context and the fondness they hold in popular culture. Brett Cooper emerged as one of the most outspoken critics of Rachel Zegler's comments, perceiving them as emblematic of a larger trend in Hollywood, the tendency to reinterpret classic narratives through a politically correct lens. Cooper utilized her YouTube channel and social media platforms to directly address Zegler's remarks in a segment that resonated with many of her followers. In her response, Cooper contended that Zegler's tone toward the original Snow White film came across as dismissive and disrespectful, undermining its historical and cultural significance. For Cooper, the alterations in the remake signified a misunderstanding of the timeless values that the original story embodies, and she expressed concern that such reimaginings could dilute the essence of beloved classics. Brett Cooper highlighted that the classic Snow White film released in 1937 should be regarded as a product of its time, deserving appreciation for its historical context without the need to conform to contemporary standards. She asserted that the original film has been beloved by audiences for generations, and Zegler's comments labeling the prince as a stalker could alienate dedicated fans who treasure the original narrative. For Cooper, Zegler's critique felt not only unnecessary but also disrespectful, intensifying the perception that Hollywood is pushing a specific agenda by modifying cherished stories. This clash of perspectives underscores the broader cultural divide surrounding modern adaptations of classic tales and the debates over representation and storytelling in the entertainment industry. Cooper challenged the notion that modern adaptations must undermine or criticize their original sources, questioning, why is it necessary to trash the original? Why can't we have a modern take without bashing what came before? She expressed concern that there appears to be a relentless trend in Hollywood to rewrite the narratives that shaped audiences' childhoods, suggesting that this sends a message that everything from the past is inherently flawed or outdated. For Cooper, it's essential to recognize and respect the value of classic stories while still exploring new interpretations without resorting to negative portrayals of their legacies. This perspective reflects a broader conversation about the balance between innovation in storytelling and honoring the traditions that many hold dear. The ongoing exchange between Zegler and Cooper transcends the specific issue of Snow White. It embodies a broader cultural debate regarding Hollywood's current approach to storytelling. On one hand, there are advocates who argue that classic narratives should evolve to resonate with contemporary values and societal expectations. On the other hand, critics contend that many modern adaptations are overly politicized, straying too far from the essence that made these stories beloved in the first place. This clash between Zegler's progressive vision and Cooper's commitment to traditional values underscores a growing divide in how audiences engage with and critique media, particularly timeless tales. It raises essential questions about authenticity, representation, and the importance of respecting the historical context of these stories while also embracing new perspectives. As the conversation continues, it's clear that the debate around Snow White serves as a microcosm of larger conversations about storytelling in today's complex cultural landscape. The clash between contemporary values and traditional storytelling lies at the heart of the debate surrounding Rachel Zegler and Brett Cooper. Supporters of modern reimaginings argue that storytelling must evolve to reflect themes of inclusivity, diversity, and progressive ideals like feminism. Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress stepping into the iconic role of Snow White, symbolizes this transformative movement in Hollywood. Her casting alone is a challenge to traditional norms, representing a significant shift in how classic characters are portrayed. For Zegler, her version of Snow White isn't just about recreating a character, it's about redefining her to be more independent and self-reliant, a figure who embodies strength and determination. This reinterpretation moves away from the outdated gender roles of the past and aims to connect with modern audiences who value these principles of female empowerment. Zegler's goal is to create a Snow White that resonates with today's society, inspiring new generations with a narrative that prioritizes agency and self-discovery. Yet this progressive approach raises crucial questions about how to balance honoring the spirit of the original stories while embracing new interpretations. Critics argue that in the rush to align with contemporary values, these adaptations might overlook the timeless qualities that made these tales beloved in the first place. This tension has only deepened the divide in public opinion, sparking debates over how much creative liberty should be taken when reimagining classics in today's cultural landscape. On the other side of the debate, Brett Cooper and her supporters argue that the push for modern values often overshadows the heart of the original stories. Cooper believes that Hollywood's growing focus on diversity and social justice tends to dilute the essence of cultural classics, replacing their timeless messages with narratives that feel forced and overly political. To her and like-minded critics, this trend in reimagining beloved tales to fit contemporary agendas undermines the genuine spirit of these stories. For Cooper, preserving the integrity of classic works without bending them to meet modern tastes is crucial. She contends that these narratives should be appreciated for their enduring qualities, not reshaped to align with the latest social and political trends. This viewpoint resonates with fans who worry that in the effort to modernize, the core values and themes of these classic tales are being compromised. The tension between these differing perspectives underscores a broader struggle in today's media landscape as audiences wrestle with how to honor beloved stories while also adapting to evolving cultural standards. The clash between Rachel Zegler and Brett Cooper quickly escalated on social media, drawing in fans and critics from both camps. Zegler's supporters rallied around her progressive stance, commending her for reimagining Snow White in a way that moves beyond outdated stereotypes. They praised her for pushing back against the traditional portrayal of women in fairy tales, seeing her approach as a necessary evolution in storytelling that aligns with contemporary values. For these fans, Zegler's vision of an empowered and independent Snow White represents a step toward more inclusive narratives that resonate with today's audiences. On the other hand, the conversation surrounding Zegler's role in Snow White has sparked wider debates about Hollywood's ongoing trend of modernizing classic tales. Supporters of Zegler argue that updating these stories is crucial for reflecting modern ideals like female empowerment and independence. They believe that characters like Snow White should evolve to better represent the diversity and strength of today's society. For them, Zegler's fresh take on the character is a welcome change, embracing a narrative that celebrates inclusivity and challenges outdated gender roles. Conversely, critics, many of whom resonate with Brett Cooper's views, argue that Rachel Zegler's comments and the modern reinterpretation of Snow White undermine the legacy of the original film and its creators. They express frustration with Hollywood's trend of reimagining classic tales, believing these efforts often disguise a push for political or social agendas. For these critics, Zegler's approach to Snow White risks alienating longtime Disney fans who hold the traditional version of the story close to their hearts, seeing it as a disrespect to the original's charm and innocence. As the debate grew on social media, it became clear that the Snow White remake represents more than just a movie. It's a focal point in the broader cultural clash over representation, feminism, and how stories should be told in the modern era. With the film still in production and no full trailer yet released by Disney, this project has already sparked heated discussions, drawing significant attention from both enthusiastic supporters and vocal critics. This divide highlights the evolving nature of Hollywood's approach to classic narratives and how these adaptations are received by a diverse audience. For Rachel Zegler, portraying Snow White is more than just a career milestone, it's an opportunity to shape the future of Hollywood storytelling. Despite the criticism and backlash she has faced, Zegler remains steadfast in her commitment to promoting the film and standing by her vision of a more empowered and independent Snow White. She views this role as a chance to push the boundaries of traditional fairy tales, steering them toward a narrative that reflects contemporary values and social progress. On the other hand, Brett Cooper sees the Snow White remake as a stark example of Hollywood's failure to honor its past, reinforcing her concerns about the direction of modern media. For Cooper, the film represents a broader issue with how she believes progressive values are increasingly dictating the content of movies and television, often at the expense of the original charm and legacy of classic stories. The clash between Zegler and Cooper over the Snow White remake goes beyond just their differing viewpoints. It underscores a deeper cultural conflict between preserving tradition and embracing modernity in storytelling. Cooper's critique has evolved into a larger commentary on how she believes contemporary media is prioritizing politically correct narratives over the integrity of beloved classics. For her, this debate symbolizes a growing concern that Hollywood's current trends overshadow established stories in favor of agendas that may not resonate with longtime fans. On the other hand, Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White represents a significant shift toward inclusivity and empowerment, echoing Hollywood's ongoing efforts to modernize its narratives and align them with contemporary values. This updated interpretation not only challenges traditional storytelling norms, but also underscores the evolving landscape of media representation, where inclusivity and diverse perspectives are taking center stage. As the film's release approaches, it will be fascinating to see how audiences respond to this new version of Snow White. Will viewers embrace the modernized take on this beloved fairy tale, or will Brett Cooper's critique of altering classic stories strike a deeper chord? One thing is certain: the conversation sparked by this remake will continue, serving as a reflection of the broader cultural debate about the future of storytelling in Hollywood. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the Snow White controversy, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more insights and updates on the latest in entertainment and cultural debates. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep bringing you the content you love.